Back out here with old Crusty Rusty here. Gonna pull the engine out. That's what the video is gonna be. Pulling the engine out of old Crusty. 4.3, going in somebody else's car, making a new hot rod. So hang with me. First of all, we gotta get this tire pumped up, try to get the rear end freed up, and get the one tire that's locked up in the front loose. So that's what this will be about. Probably not much being said, because the wind's picking up. And that messes up the audio, so try not to put you all through that again. Let's get started. Look at that right there. That was worth the purchase all by itself. Look at the tread on that thing. You could fall in it. Yep. This is a brand new, almost, sort of, kind of, pretty much brand new looking tire. It's even holding air. So we're going to put it on the back. But that's a really good tire. I wish I had a truck to put it on now. Let's see. It is 235/75 R15. Yep. She's a good one. We're going to go ahead and put her on. I would like to say that this truck did a burnout and caused this, but nope. It's locked up. I dragged it this far with the tractor. So now I'm going to crawl underneath it and I'm going to see if I can simply disconnect the drive shaft and or disassemble the differential and see if I can't get these to free up. Because I need to be able to roll it in the garage to get it on the lift. So that's where we're at now. It appears that while I was dragging this, it seems to have worsened. I can't figure out why this rear end won't turn, but you know, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But we're gonna mend this out of the way for starters. Oh, oops, broke something. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, now, let's see if we can get a socket on these crusty old bolts. Probably not. But we're going to try. You know, it's not 9/16. It's so crusty, it's hard to tell. Oh, well. I don't know. Is it 1/2 inch? Nope, it's metric, isn't it? Yep, it's going to be metric because these don't want to go on. It's 13 mil. Okay, let's go get a 13 mil. As much as I would love to pull this truck apart the conventional way, if you haven't noticed, she's a tad rusty. And the bolts are literally disintegrating as I try to take them off. As you saw on the rear end, I ended up having to use the whole fire wrench to get it off of there. Well, I got news for you. The fire wrench is going to be the #1 go-to tool on this particular video, unfortunately. I have wrestled with bolts, and I only have like 5 more hours to get this engine out, and it's taking me 15 minutes per bolt. Not gonna happen, right? Just tried to get the cross member out, and the bolts are literally, you know, if I could get a bite on them, then I could break them, but I can't get a bite because the head of the bolt and or nut is just turning to nothing, just dust. But it's enough to where I can't get it off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fire wrench them all off. I might just cut the cross member, cut it right off, and not even worry about it. I hate to do that because I know it'd be great information to see how to do it, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately, folks. But when you're watching me cut it off, just make believe that I'm taking the bolts off, right? Just use your imagination. Say, yeah, he was taking those 4 bolts out. No. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to do the best I can getting these bolts undone, but unfortunately the cross member is going to come out in pieces. I might use my, you know, saw, cut off wheel as miscellaneous tools, but I'm pretty sure this old, you know, fire wrench is going to be the way to go on most of it. So bear with me. Don't hang up. If you hang up on a computer, I don't know. But anyway, just watch. This should be entertaining at the very least, because, you know, bugs. You know, I might burn myself or something, or, you know, catch the truck on fire, or who knows what's going to happen. But I figured I would pause the whole fast forward and cool music thing. Hopefully you like the music. Not everybody does. But we're going to have to take some shortcuts just to make it happen. Otherwise, we're going to be here, you know, till I'm way, way older than I am. This truck isn't worth restoring. She's too far gone. But, you know, if this was a, you know, 70 Barracuda, yeah, I'd be wrestling with some bolts. I'd probably still cut the bolts off, but I'd be a little more careful. But it's not. It's an old Sonoma S-10 / you know, mini truck, which are cool, but just not worth, you know, for me anyway, the effort to take the long road home. You know what I mean? So here we go. Let's just start getting her done. sure hope y'all are enjoying this. I'm not. This is one of those jobs that is just like right in there. You know, I'd really rather say it's a pain somewhere else, but we're just gonna, you know, keep it PG here. But it's a hurting. Hands are dirty. That's not good. But she's so rusty and so crusty, and I know I said I was gonna use, you know, the whole fire wrench, but I never did. Actually just used the Sawzall. Yeah, less mess, less fuss, less chance of things blowing up. But anyway, we're down to the motor mounts, and I thought I might, you know, show you where those are, because once again, they're rusted solid, and they're really hard to get at. So, just for fun, I figured I'd show you. Probably go ahead and let the sound maybe go after this. I've been doing all music till now, because that was all the transmission. Not fun. Had to get the, probably didn't show you this because it was almost impossible to get a view. You had to get the torque converter bolts through the starter hole. You had to turn the engine by hand, and then you had to take the bolts out through the starter hole. Yep, that was fun. There's no way to slide the transmission off of the torque converter. There's just not enough room, and it binds, and it was a fiasco, to say the least. Needless to say, I made up a few new words. Had to apologize to, you know, God for about 360 times for my vocabulary. But aside from that, it's all going great. We're at the motor mounts now, hoping that it's not going to be too bad. But it's one of those deals where I got to hold one side and do the other side with a long extension. Another person would be fantastic. Yep, ain't got one of those. So, you know, I guess I'm on my own. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to show you what I got hooked up at the moment, and see if y'all are, you know, in sync with me. Alone, at times, can be a humdinger. But I know y'all seen the daughter helping me out sometimes, and hadn't she already showered and kind of tired from being away this weekend, I would bother her, but I'm not going to do that. Plus, I don't think she can reach, because she's kind of, you know, she's little. So I don't think she'd be able to reach while we do this at the same time, or I'd be like, on my knees. So we're going to just go at it myself, and if I can't get it well, I'll have to bother somebody else. The wife already showered too. She's not been feeling too good, so she's out. Nonetheless, I'll show you what I'm up against, and you all can tell me if I'm crazy or if, you know, maybe y'all can come help. Yeah. How about Leonard? Leonard, you're always giving me a hard time. Why don't you come help? He's probably not even watching this video. He only likes the AMCs. But nonetheless, let me show you what I got, and we'll go from there. Okay, let me show you what I'm up against. This is actually take two because I forgot to press the start button, or the record button on the last one. So there we go. There's where I'm at. It's way up in there. There's a whole bunch of crap in the way. And there's the other side, way hidden in there. So that's that side. Now this side's even more wonderful. This one you won't even be able to see. If you follow my extension, you can kind of see the end of the, well, nope, I can't see diddly because of my light. There we go. You can see where my extension is going in there. But there's a whole bunch of crap in the way. Now this side's not so bad. This side is, if I can get focused on there we go. And where are we? There we go. Okay, there it is. Jeepers crow. But that one's not so hard to get at, as you can see. Just need a long extension. But now you know what I'm up against. And we're going to try to go it alone, unless things just get impossible. Okay. Couldn't do it by myself. Had to get the wife. and I know she wasn't feeling good, so I felt pretty bad about it, but the daughter is unavailable at the moment. And so if you want to do it by yourself, unless you're more ingenuitively inclined, have more ingenuity than I do, not happening. The wrench kept vibrating off the other side, and sometimes you can use tricks like tape and what have you. You just can't get your hands in there to do so. So I had to have the wife do the old thumb on the wrench thing just to hold the wrench on the nut, and then it was easy. So she doesn't like to be YouTubed, so I didn't YouTube it. But in all reality, you saw where they were at. It's just a matter of, loosening. So that's that. Let's see if we can't get this thing out of here, because I'm getting tired. And this is one of those projects that I'm doing for somebody else, and never as much fun. Just not. So if I was doing it for a good cause, maybe it'd be better. But this thing's so rusty, it's made it a pretty miserable job. Nonetheless, we ain't whining much. Can I get some crackers with that wine? Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and see if this thing will come out now. Probably got 394 more wires I got to disconnect, but I'm probably just going to start a snipping, because some of the plugs on the transmission were so corroded and stuck on there that I just, did one of those. So worst comes to worst. So far this harness actually doesn't seem too bad. The engine, weird, strangely enough, is pretty good shape. I don't get it. The rest of the truck is horrible. Okay, let's get started. Enough talk. Let's go. start that sentence with well? I did. Finally, it's out. Man. Had to take the exhaust manifold off. It was just wedged in there. There's no coming out without undoing one side of the exhaust. And I'm not talking just taking it off. I mean taking the whole exhaust manifold off. Not fun with all that rust on there. This job was a humdinger. I did want to call it how to remove the engine from an S10 or Sonoma. But I kind of cheated near the end, in case you haven't noticed. You know, started just snipping things, because it's dark 30 out. And I got to get done. Got to get my other cars in here. I need to go shower, because I got work in the morning. 4:30 comes early. And so I'm getting old, you know. I can't be staying up all night turning wrenches. If this job had to be done, I promised the guy this engine by today. I doubt he's coming today to get it, but at least it's ready for tomorrow. So I'm running a little late. So I apologize for cheating a little at the end, but I just did not have time to start, you know, unscrewing stuff. I just had to get her done. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this, you know. Too bad I've got to air this before I can get a name for it, because, you know, it would have been nice to have a little help on putting a title to this. I can always change the title if y'all get some good ideas. One of my viewers, he called this Old Crusty. That's a good name for this thing. It is Crusty. Crusty's a good name. So too bad we weren't putting it back on the road. We could call her Old Crusty. But like I said, she's mechanically sound. The transmission's out. I could call it How to Remove the Transmission, because we did take the transmission out the conventional way-ish. But getting kind of cold. It's a cool night. Not bad because I'm working. But as I sit here or stand here, it's starting to cool off a little bit. But I'm done. Thank God. I'm happy about that. Don't see the allure of these modern cars, you know. I just don't like all the plugs and grounds, and it's just kind of like the old simple stuff. And I did want to just mention one thing. Had a guy that didn't like my way of restoring things. He says that's not exactly restoring. Well, he's probably right, but it's restoring it for me. You know, if you want concours level stuff, this is not the channel to be watching, folks. This is more backyard, make your car cool, make it look good. You know, stuff you can do at home. Now, I've got quite a bit of equipment, but most of this you can do, it'll take you a little longer, but most of this you can do without the equipment I have. I started out when I was a kid with no garage. And then I finally got like a one car barely barn, really. It was a chicken barn. And the floor was wood and falling through, and that was my first shop. So, you know, I started out bare essentials, and this is what it's grown to, thank God. But this is just a big hobby. And so if you're looking to fix up your car at home, you want to know how to do stuff, this is the channel for you. But if you want perfect restoration stuff, you know, watch Graveyard Cars, or, you know, Barry White. Isn't that a singer? I think that's his name, though, Barry White. Yeah, he does, can't think of the name of his show, but does like top-notch concours stuff. Yeah, watch that. If you want to just know how to do it at home and make your car cool and look decent, not perfect maybe, but decent, on the cheap. And I'm going to do a segment on the cheap, because I know I've got a BMW and I've got a Cadillac, and I've got some high dollar cars that people think maybe I've got some bucks going on here, but nope. Nope. This is how I earn my extra money for toys, you know, playing with junk like this. But I'm going to do a segment on what I've got in each car, and it's going to blow your mind, because I don't have hardly nothing in these cars. In the world of hot rodding, the amount of money I put into these cars, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, yes. But money? I'm a poor boy, just like some of you. Now, if you got the bucks, by all means, spend them. You know, don't go through the aggravation of what I'm doing. But if you want to build a cool car and you ain't got a whole lot of money, then you need to be watching this channel. So, subscribe. That's my way of saying subscribe, if you haven't already. If you've already, well, great. It's got a couple of fans out there. I love you guys. You know, guys that make comments quite often, love it. I love answering the comments. And even if you're negative, you know, I always have kind of fun. Sometimes I can shoot back, you know. But anyway, this is going to do it for here. Hope you enjoyed watching me suffer with old Crusty here. And oddly enough, I don't think I'm bleeding. That can't be right. Let's go back and do something. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll probably find a cut somewhere, but I don't think I'm bleeding. That's just amazing. You gotta subscribe now because that's a miracle. If you want to watch miracles, you gotta watch this channel. Alright, y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. See ya.